What's up YouTube? How's it going? GTA 6 Trailer 2 dropped today. I already watched it, but I'm gonna watch it again, give my thoughts, and make an analysis. This looks way better than Trailer 1. Here we have Jason. Bro is buff. Look at the details. Mr. Popular. Holy mother, this highway. Workout okay? Look at the lighting. Also a scuffle with police. So their names are Lucia Caminos and Jason Duval. This here just confirms they already knew each other. Okay, we have some spice. And immediately some kind of robbery. This scene is wholesome. Loading that plane with very suspicious material. Bro, bro. She's hot! Nightclub in story mode. This part right here, holy shit. Bro, those cars. Bottles and a controller. We'll get back to that. Insane amount of details. This must be Grass Rivers or Everglades. Stealing a car from the truck. Driving onto the sunset. Okay, so this was the trailer. Now we're gonna get to the part where I will analyze some frames of the trailer and just look deeper into some details. So going back into the trailer, we start off with this view right here. You can see the density of the buildings and the vegetation is far higher than anything we've seen in GTA 5. Not to mention the higher fidelity and the texture quality of the models themselves. Then we move on to this one, and you can look at the clouds and you can tell the similarity they have with Red Dead Redemption 2's clouds. And the reflections on the puddles indicate that there's ray tracing here activated. Then we get a look at this guy beside this car, and you can look at the ground and the details it has, as well as the reflection on his bald head. The car itself also looks amazing, texture-wise and model-wise. I think it's based on a Ford F-150. I'm not the most knowledgeable in cars, but you guys tell me. And then we get this. This is our first proper look at Jason. Once again, you guys will notice the reflection on his sunglasses, sunshades, whatever you call it, and also his chest hair, and you'll notice something about the way his skin stretches. You can even see the veins on his skin and also how the sweat just looks natural on the surface of his skin. And more detailed 3D models like the doorknob and the keyhole, and other details like the wires, and also how the surface of the wood just looks far more high res. Here we get a look at details from the car, like the steering wheel and how the rust is accumulating on the door of the car. We can see the windows open, and look at Jason's beard. The detail of the hair. The tattoo is also very high res and sharp. And then we can look at the crystals, the pebbles, the cash register, and even this guy's braids. They're probably the most detailed braids I've ever seen. And then we see the highway. The guys on the left seem to be the guys who service the highway, just cleaning stuff or repairing things. The signs look sharp and easy to read. And then you look at this plane. You may not think much of it, but we'll get to it in a later part. But for now, the paint job is Fly US, but it's updated. And then we see Jason just lifting weight right here. Workouts are back, I guess. I hope this is not a cutscene. You can also see the weights back there are digging into the sand. And then we see Jason carrying beer at a store. You can look on the right and you can see the leaves. I don't know if that's lettuce. Seems like kale, but I could be wrong, whatever. What matters is the amount of details in the objects. We move on to what seems to be one of the random events that occur in the world, and some NPCs are having a scuffle with police right here. They got arrested. We get a look at the penitentiary, and you can see the amount of details on the fence. The barbed wire is just insane. Crazy amount of details on his t-shirt. Lucia gets out of jail, and we can see the hair. The details of the hair just seem better than in trailer 1. You can see the ankle monitor on her leg. Then we get this scene. Gun has more details, the mask looks insane, and once again, those reflections on the glasses. This guy right here with the receding hairline, you can see the sweat shining on his forehead. Our two characters looking stylish as hell. You can see the details on the label of the bottles. Really easy to read, high fidelity. One very cool detail, the liquid, like the beer on the bottle, just the way it moves. It's very fluid, because in GTA 5, it was fine for the time, but it looks very like gooey gel-like. It's a small detail, but it goes a long way. Here we have the Predator in a different style, and the reflections on the water just look really, really realistic. Again, all this ray tracing stuff going on. Then we have this scene. They're loading something on the plane at night. You can see the details on these bushes and other plants. Jason himself is right here helping to load this thing. So we're gonna have air smuggling type of activities, I assume. Here we see some NPCs doing community service. Cool detail, but what's even cooler is how the grass looks and how the trash is dynamically placed. And then we have this. It seems to be Jason's house, but if you pay attention on the left, there is like a snake in the tank. So Jason has a pet snake. We have this bar scene, a lot of detail everywhere, but the interesting part here is Hurricane Roxy. So we're gonna have hurricanes, maybe. Another part we get to see how the hair moves. And you see that woman behind Jason? She kinda looks a bit like Lucia, so she might be a relative. And then we get a bomb. And the details on her dress are just insane. Looking gorgeous. Jason is also looking pretty fine here. Yacht party, so I think Cyberboy is gonna go crazy. Another scene, we get to see more details on cars and also the characters themselves. Jason in some kind of argument with these guys, and you can see the details on their hair, the braids, and the different afro type of hair has a particular texture. And the towel hanging on this guy's neck also has a lot of details. The details on this wall, and look at the helicopter and the extra lights it has compared to GTA 5. But the cooler part is look at Lucia's sneakers. Like the material itself is bending. Now you guys tell me in the comments. I don't know if it's just me, but this old man at least looks a bit like Jason. Is it his father? Then we see a police raid. This guy right here looks like a dirty cop. Are we gonna have like a 10-penny repeat right here? Because that face, I don't know, man. I don't trust it. I mean, in game, every cop is supposed to be our enemy anyway, right? A drive-by scene, again confirming what we saw in the leaks. Jason has part of his body outside the car window. Then this woman right here, insane details on her clothes. You have the fake nails, the earring, the chain, the braids. Lucia kicking some guy. I hope this means we can learn martial arts, different styles of fighting, like in GTA San Andreas. And then the explosions. Look how much better the explosions look compared to GTA 5. Many more games, even. I don't know what they're looking at here, but we can see more details on their clothes and this guy's chain. And then a more interesting part for me. It may not look like much to you, but this part of a plane is called the wheel well. This is where the landing gear retracts to and stays stored when the plane is in flight. And look how detailed this part is. We never had anything like this in GTA 5. I mean, you can even see the rivets, the individual rivets of the plane modeled. This is peak insanity. Then we see this car pulling a safe, Fast and Furious 5 style, and it's actually destroying things as it goes. The object destruction in this game is gonna be a lot higher, I think. Then we have this scene, a lot of NPCs, a lot of cars, very cool cars, some of which we don't even have in GTA 5. We have this guy taking a picture of another NPC. We have two women in that red car just out of the window. This part has a PS4 style controller and some beer bottles. You can see the bubbles on the beer. Once again, reflections on the table, the reflection on the floor, just the difference in material and how the lighting is coming into the house. It's just insane. We move on to the next scene and we see this buzzard. It seems to be an updated model of the buzzard, given that it has a gun on the side and it's chasing a boat in Grass Rivers, I assume. We can see it's Jason flying the helicopter, and look at the panel on the helicopter, on the cockpit of the helicopter. The buttons and the instruments just look a lot better. I'm really happy to see that Rockstar not only gave attention to cars, but just every type of vehicle in general. And as an aviation guy, I'm really happy that Rockstar also gave attention to them as well. Here we see Jason and Lucia on a jet ski, and we have a bunch of NPCs chilling on a yacht and in the water, but I'm sure more YouTubers will notice things I cannot hear. On this part, I can notice that the headlight and the rest of the lights on the motorbike look absolutely insane. Here, Lucia is trying to steal a car from the back of a truck, but what's important here is the illumination at night. I think there is a light pollution effect going on here, and the building modeling is on another level. And here we can see more details on the water, the waves and the ripples made by the boat look extremely realistic. And then a bike, if you watch the trailer, you're gonna see the suspension on the bike is far more realistic. And the fire coming from the exhaust is also really realistic. Here you can just see a bunch of tools and guys repairing a boat in the background, but this guy right here spills his beer, and the way the liquid just drips is very convincing. And then the trailer ends with this scene. You can see once again the density of the vegetation and the buildings, and the cars and the draw distance is just purely insane. What's funny is how much better this trailer looks compared to trailer 1. You can see Rockstar really has been working to improve pretty much every single aspect of the game. No wonder it's not coming out. I'm even starting to think that with how much time it passed, maybe it's not even Rage 9 that they're using. Maybe they updated the whole engine again, which would mean we didn't even see a game use Rage 9. Maybe they're skipping straight to Rage 10 with this game. But disclaimer, this is just my speculation. I'm just really impressed with how much better the thing looks compared to trailer 1. So don't take my word for it. Anyways guys, that's it for this video. I will make more videos taking a look at other things. So look forward to that. Subscribe. I will try to bring as much content as I possibly can this week. So look forward to that, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay safe and peace.